Hello and welcome to the Optimise for Success Roundtable series from Foodservice Consultant Society International, FCSI. This new series will address how operators, consultants and manufacturers alike are adapting to the new normal of food service amid a rapidly changing landscape. Each episode will focus on different ways food service businesses are relying on innovative products and new thinking to not only survive, but thrive in a post-pandemic environment by optimizing what they do best in order to achieve success. My name is Michael Jones from Progressive Content and Editorial Director of FCSI's Food Service Consultant magazine. This series is very kindly supported by MKN. Big thanks to them. And today's episode, the first in the series, will focus on the topic of people. From managing labor shortages to sharpening soft skills to bring out the best in your team, today we will explore why people must be at the heart of a food service operation, but also how people and their output can be optimized too. I'm delighted to be joined by three exceptional FCSI professional member consultants from the FCSI Europe, Africa and Middle East division and a vice president from MKN. So firstly, let me ask each participant to introduce themselves and tell us about their organizations and their area of expertise. Anton, can we start with you first, please?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Michael. My name is Anton François. I'm working as a consultant in the Netherlands and specialized in the cure industry. So at this moment, I'm working in hospitals and elderly care homes to develop new concepts on food and beverage and keep the level of hospitality very high. That's my effort. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Anton, and welcome. And Jürg, please.
Yes, hello. My name is Jürg Luginbühl. I'm from Switzerland, and we are running a company called Flückiger Food Systems. We are doing consulting, strategic concepts, quite a wide range of services we provide, supporting kitchen and restaurants, but also doing consulting and designing of the kitchen. So we are a company with 3 partners.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jürg. And Daniel, please.
Yeah, hello all together. And thank you for inviting me to participate in this roundtable. I have been running my own consultancy business from Basel, also Switzerland, for 35 years now as a business developer. Also a broad activity, hospitals, retirement homes, other public institutions, leisure facilities, mobile catering business, everything was there.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Daniel. And Martin, please.
Thank you, Mike. Hello all together. I'm happy to be with you. My name is Martin Ubel. I'm working for MKN since more than 10 years now, and I'm here responsible for sales and marketing as a vice president. And MKN is a company we are realizing many projects all over the world every year. So the consultants are very important for us as partners and inspirators, and especially FCSI, we are very much involved and very close. And therefore, thank you for giving this opportunity to discuss.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Martin, for your support. Okay, so let's start things off. Before we explore our main topic today, which is people being at the heart of hospitality, let's first outline maybe some of the key challenges that your business, but also your clients' businesses are currently experiencing. Let's look at some of the biggest headaches for food service and hospitality right now. So Anton, can we start with you first on that one, please?
Yes, I think that the whole industry is coming out of the pandemic and is reorganizing and repositioning their staff to survive in the industry at this moment. So that's a big challenge in the hospitality industry at this moment.
Excellent. Thank you, Anton. And Jürg, please.
Yeah, to get in contact with the people and being in touch with the people about their business, so helping them to run out through this special hard situation they had. So it takes that will take out for us to have a lot of being careful about what we are doing and watching them very carefully and listen to them very carefully what they are really needed. So
excellent, thank you, Jürg.
Yeah.
And Daniel, what are some of the key challenges that you're seeing out there?
Yeah, I agree totally what we have heard. Maybe to say that the situations in the countries is quite different because we had different situations politically. And I think the main thing is to come back to a however new normality, to bring back the clients to restaurants, and this is a big work we have to do now.
Yeah, certainly it's a huge scale of a challenge ahead of us, Martin. What's the kind of the view from the perspective of a manufacturer like MKM? What are the big challenges that you're experiencing?
As a company, as a manufacturer, we are challenging at the moment, of course, the lack in the supply chain. So you cannot get the parts to manufacture you need in time. So it means longer lead times, and especially at the moment, this is a very serious development. The raising costs on the material you are working with, stainless steel, nickel, all the electronic parts. Not so much a shortage of skilled people is for us the problem, more the shortage of parts. For our clients in the hospitality industry, I would say it's definitely a shortage of people, that they moved away out of the industry in the last 2 years and maybe will never come back because they find another home. And of course, also for these companies, I'm sure the cost raise is a serious problem for them as well, or challenge.
Yeah, there's a lot of big impactful challenges out there that the industry is currently facing. Now, one thing that we are told, and we will all have experienced, is that hospitality and food service is a very, very people-centric industry. It always has been. But has it lost some of that focus, would you say? Is that still definitely the case? Maybe as we kind of tip out of the pandemic or on the downslope of the pandemic, would you say it's still absolutely people-centric, that it has people at the heart of its business? Or is it losing its focus in that sense? Martin, can we stay with you first to answer that one, please?
Yeah, at the end, gastronomy is not only having a meal or grab some food. It's about emotions, and therefore it's people business, you know, and people and emotions are a key factor for the success. So I don't think that there will be a dramatic change short or middle term. What will happen is, what we see already is that there's a change in the new concepts coming up, you know, more to go, more delivery concepts, things like that. And this will change also the approach to the customers, but at the end, it's what I believe, it still will be a people business also in the future. So people will be important anyway.
Thanks, Martin. Daniel, do you agree with that?
Absolutely. It's all about emotions. We have two sides. One side is the production side. The other side is the selling or service side. We have to make a difference between these two parts, but everything what's about clients and guests is emotional, and this is people driven. Of course, you can make a lot with branding, with marketing, but finally, I think when you are there, the employees, the people that are there serving you, they are responsible for the success.
Thank you, Daniel. Anton, do you agree with that? Do you concur?
Yeah, partly. I think what Martin said, there will be other solutions where there is less labor, less hospitality, my delivery foods, etc. And I think the places where there is a lot of emotion, what Daniel said, that's the experience you have to, you need beyond the product we serve. I think that the prices will increase there tremendously, because that's kind of restaurants or food environments which give that experience, which add a lot of value on the product, will add a lot of price on that. That's what I think what will happen now. So the Star Michelin restaurants will increase their prices with 15-20%, I think.
Wow. Okay. And Jürg, as an extension of that question, then, why are people still food service and hospitality's biggest asset? Why do people matter the most in this industry?
Yeah, because I think the food industry is a people business so far. It is a people business. The digitalization has increased in every industry. And I often work also for care industries as well, especially in these, they do process and have the documentation in a very digital way. But the digitalization process and the new concept, they are not replacing the work that has to be done. The people business, and empathy, joy, and motivation for people is made through personal relationships, and that will not end. So it's the encounters with people that makes life worth living. So that's a bon mot from Guy de Maupassant. I think he's right. And so when we look around, what happens now in this post-pandemic period, right now it's right. So people are definitely willing to go out to meet people, to see people. So that's what drives us to go forward.
Thank you, Jürg. Anton, to Jürg's point there about increasing digitalization in this industry, are you concerned about too much automation entering the sector, replacing the role that humans play, or is it entirely necessary to take on those roles that perhaps a lot of people just don't want to do anymore?
I think it's a combination. When you have a very intensive product like a restaurant on the beach, where a lot of people are coming on when it's beautiful weather, it's crowded, so you have to scale up your staff in 8 or 4 hours, and that staff is not there anymore. All that people, what Martin said in another way, the whole labor market has been shuffled around, and that's the same for the hospitality industry. So those restaurants, for example, what I said on beaches, they have to digitalize. So the experience of hospitality is getting down because you have an app and you order your drinks, you pay your drinks in the app, and there's coming someone with a plate with your drinks, or even there are already robots who serve your drinks at your table. That will increase tremendously, I think, because there are no people who will scale up in such a short time.
Yeah. Daniel, do you agree with that view? Do you think the industry is getting the balance of people and technology largely right?
Okay, what we see is an increasing, or the quality of artificial intelligence it's increasing heavily. When I look back for the last 10 years, what happened on the side of production, but even on the side of the whole payment, ordering, this is unbelievable what happened. And we have really made differences between each kind of restaurants. And so we cannot say globally it is like this or that. Each restaurant or unit has to find own solutions. But we have to see the consumer side. The guests, they are used to use their mobile phones for everything. So you also have to follow this development on the consumer side. And this makes, this rises up the needs of quality of the employees. They also have to follow these new technologies. So there is, in fact, we have to make more training. We have to bring more knowledge into our employees that they are ready to use all these devices.
Yeah, great answer that. Thank you, Daniel. Martin, how does your company keep people at the heart of its operation, and why are they your unique selling point, the people within your workforce?
Yeah, people for us are key, because MKN is, that's what I already mentioned, we are especially strong in the project business. So we are realizing entire thermal processes, not only single parts of it. And therefore you need specialists, you need special skills, you need expertise on that. And it makes no sense to have a hire and fire mentality. So it's important, an essential key for us to bring people in the company, to train them, to develop them, to build them up, to make them to these kind of experts, being a sparring partner also to consultants, you know, and then it wouldn't make any sense to let them leave, you know. So we do everything to keep them, and this is the key in the quality of the company, not only the technology itself, you know, but that this is also, you cannot digitalize this, you know. You need somebody presenting, explaining, answering on questions in the right way, and to be a little bit flexible in mind, you know, not just a robot, a 1 and 0. And this is how our business is going. So therefore, we need specialized people. We need multi-dimensional people in our company. And this is what, therefore, it's so important and key for us.
Great answer. Thank you, Martin. Anton, there are, of course, huge swathes of people who are leaving the workforce in food service. There was a recent McKinsey survey that said the top reason for this across all industries, not just food service, is people's experiences with uncaring leaders. How can we as a sector do better in that regard?
Yeah, that's I think that's a big problem. When you see the Netherlands, and then you talk about the how do I say that, the not the lower market, but everybody can start a cafe.
Yeah.
And not everybody is a good employer. And I think I don't know if a lot of Dutch restaurants or cafe people are listening, but we lost something in that in the Netherlands. So you need the quality of an employer to support your employees, to take care of them in working times, in the facilities to work in a good accommodation, and to pay them what is need to pay. It's in basic. It's very, very important that all fits. So I think, and I saw it in the Netherlands during the pandemic. The representative of all the horeca companies was continuously complaining about the government by not supporting the hotel and restaurant business, but they already poisoned their own business by being not the best employer.
Yeah.
So I think there need and that will reshuffle now in a natural way in the market, because they don't get any staff anymore. So yesterday here in the news was a second wave of companies who are stopping now, although they got a lot of money during the pandemic, but they can't survive now because they don't get the people. So there must be a lot of support to the employers to do the right thing for the employees. Yeah.
Great answer. Thank you, Anton. Jürg, what initiatives, new ideas, new way of thinking have your operator clients put in place to ensure that their employees feel valued, supported, that their leaders care?
Yeah, what Anton said before, we can see that also in Switzerland how it's working about. So it's hard to get the people. So in this time we could see that people became more sensitive, more thin-skinned. So and this also left his marks on the managers as well, on the leaders. So and when I talk to them, so then many of them had make some efforts to stay in contact with the staff, so to have more phone calls, have more video conferencing, keep them running in the business switch, as the business switcher was still able to do. Lots of them did some compensation also in about payments for home office infrastructure, and other also they did they have been surprised at the stuff with postal mail, a parcel for after work beer maybe, and things like this. So all those things they did happen. So, but when we talked to the they were quite creative in many ways. So can say, but when you talk to the employees, many of them anyway followed along, because people are tired about phone calling. People get tired about video conferencing, and some of them they had not enough contact. So if the boss is trying to get in touch with them, so it's a very individual way to get in this touch, and so it's almost not possible to manage everybody. So if you have a company with about 50 or 60 employees, so you can imagine it's very hard to satisfy everybody with those things which everybody needs. So yeah. So great. I think lots of people tried. There is a lot be done. Is it enough? I don't know.
Thank you, Jürg. Martin, I know that MKN has done a very good job of keeping hold of its workforce throughout these challenging times. How have you managed to both retain, but also to keep attracting good talent? How have you done it?
At the end, you are always in a competition to other companies around your home base. So you must, you have to make a more attractive offer to especially the younger people. Has not always to do with money. Today, life-work balance is very important. It has to do with possibilities to develop, to support them, but also to demand. So that's what I like, and to have a clear perspective for their career. And for us as a company, we are not a big industry company. We have 600 people, and we are not that small, but we still have the possibility to give our talents a space to develop, and this is very important. Then we have also the way of treating people, the way of communication, a way of listening to them, and and this is what we are doing. Maybe we have some advantages as a family company. This is our core mentality, and therefore it's we never had a high fluctuation. I have to say, we always were able to keep people long term in the company, and all what we are doing is long term. So it's just consequent in our philosophy to do everything possible to keep people. But again, it's not only the money. It has to do with the possibility to develop as a person and in the career.
Thank you, Martin. Daniel, let's focus here for a moment about making better environments for people. I'm thinking particularly in the back of house areas. Commercial kitchens, as we know, are noisy. They're hot environments. There's often not a lot of natural light. People have to work very long hours in there frequently. Now, as a designer, a consultant who designs kitchen spaces, how can changing kitchen design or evolving kitchen design help people who work in those kind of environments? How can we improve a workplace through better design?
It's not all about designing. I'm sorry to say that. We have the situation that most of the time you just rechange a kitchen that is in an existing house, an existing older house, for example. And therefore we are very happy when companies like MKN or other ones have better products to make better food at the end of the day. So, I mean, designing a kitchen is very, very individual thing. You not always start by zero. We often have existing houses. We have to rebuild things or build things in. Then the workflow has to be optimized, always optimized, of course. reduction of the employees, maybe, if possible, maybe it's not possible. So this is not just a designing question. I would like to say something about what Anton said and also Jürg. It's about to find now the right people. It is true that there is a lack of things have changed, of course. Many employees maybe changed their job, even in our industry, but we have to see all these kitchens and the restaurants that are in institutions, senior homes, all these things, the caterers for the companies, they're still working. That's not such a problem. But those on the free market, they have a huge problem. And now you have to find the right people if you restart. And of course, not every chef is also a good manager or a good calculator. It is very, very individual, but principally, you have to bring in your employees to a good team that's strong, that keeps together. So it's not about just designing kitchen, it's also how the behavior of the whole, how is a company running all together.
Yeah.
It's more about design. You cannot design how to run with the people, how to work with the people. This is a question of feeling and also emotions. Again, we have the same thing. And we have to realize that on the free market, many restaurants, they had to close, or they will close now because they couldn't survive. So there will be a huge changement in the market for the employees, for the good people. And now you have to try to find the right people for your future business. This is the main thing in my eyes.
Great answer, Daniel. Thank you. Anton, what else can we do as an industry to make this sector more appealing?
I think we have to support and give the employees responsibility and space to think with their employer in the concept to make it together successful. Pay them what is needed to pay them, or do some extra stuff. What Martin said, what maybe a family company has always a kind of exposure in the market, which gives some trust and some rest, and I think that's a very unique selling point when you have that kind of situations. So don't lose that unique selling point and embrace that to get the right people out of the market. So in the developments where I'm now involved, I take the cooks and the servants into the concept. We take the specialists in the hospital around food safety or ergonomics. We put them at the table. So temperature, workflow, heavy replacements of equipment, everything is pointed and everybody is involved and can say what he needs to say, and we take them as seriously to get the right concept to build. So I think that's all, and that's what Daniel also said. All those small points are very, very important to take care about, to be successful and to take care of your people.
Great answer. Thank you very much, Anton. And Jürg, through the work that you've done with the students at FCSI, EMBA, but also in your professional role as well, what are younger people telling you about what they want from this sector in terms of a career and a profession? What are they looking for? What will make them stay longer in this sector?
Yeah, it is a great pleasure always to work with young people, and when you get the chance to have somebody new, somebody young who wants to go in this consulting industry or our industry. Every young person who's is at the beginning of the professional career actually is aspires to do something meaningfully and something fulfilling. So that's one of the great things we have, the great moments we have. So that means we have to involve those people in our process and give them a job or give them something that they can grow on this job. So if we can get these people excited about our industry, so it's one of the biggest wins we can have. So it also gives us a platform to involve and being a mentor. So if we are not just a manager, so if we are going in this role to being a mentor, that means going by side to young people and let them go forward, let them try out, let them realize their own ideas. So even we, as older people or senior people, even we can learn about those. So once I had a prof, he said, it's never quite right to think something other is quite wrong. So that means give them the chance and accept that other ideas are might be even better than yours. So if we do this, so we can learn from each other, and then they will stay because they are able to do something fulfilling and something which they will proceed. They can proceed in their career.
I think that's an outstanding point, Jürg. Martin, Jürg there was talking about younger people looking for perhaps more purpose, something more meaningful, more fulfilling in their roles. How are you in your company appealing to younger people, and how are you making sure that you're still an attractive company to younger people, a younger generation?
Yeah, let me add something to what the colleagues just said. I think the problem with the shortage of people in the hospitality industry is not a corona problem. Yeah, it was existing already before. So it has to do with reasonable working conditions in this industry. It has to do with an adequate payment of the people, to give them the possibility to have a life with a family, to pay the rent, to build up a life, and it has to do with dignity and respect. And so this is a fundamental problem in the industry. This is very general saying now, you know, there are many new examples, good examples, but at the end, young people, it's not only the money, but it's also the money, and it's also the working conditions, and it's the condition of the company itself. You know, the good people, they want to work in modern restaurants, hotels, whatever. They select where they want to work. So for us, to answer your question, it's we have since many years already, we have a structured way to bring very young people when they left school or after university, to bring them into the company, to start a structured career. We have a own chapter for apprentices to build them up, to support their skills and their talents. And then that's what I said at the beginning. The key is to keep them in the company long term, you know, to make them happy, to give them what they are looking for, and but also demanding something from them, give them responsibility. This is what young people are looking for today, and to give them the respect they deserve. That's what we are doing.
Excellent. Thank you, Martin. Daniel, what has the pandemic taught, especially the non-institutional food service sector, about being better employees, being better employers?
Yeah, we have to talk about these non-institutional companies. As a business developer, I have, or as we also have seen today, as we know, not every chef is a good manager. Not every chef knows how to calculate. My advice would be, now we have seen those who have some money back, some reserves, they run better through these hard times. So my best advice would be try to build up your business in the way you really earn money, and you always have to reinvest money, of course. It's also okay when you have some profit, but you should build up some reserves that you're really able to keep your good stuff together. When you lose your good stuff, when not just a pandemic, but when it's a break or when you have any bad situations, you should be able to keep them together. This is the main way to show your employees that they're really worth that we are together. And when you do not have the money to come over 3, 4, 5 months, then it's very, very difficult to keep the good people.
It is indeed. Martin, back to you for a moment. Obviously, the theme for this series is optimization for success. Have the past 2 years, in particular, helped your company to operate more efficiently at all? How have you optimized your team for success in that sense?
Yeah, definitely it did. After the first frustration at the beginning, we said, "Oh, why this must happen now?" We immediately switched to a modus where we said, "Now let's make us fit for the future, not the future not the past, because the future of tomorrow will not the continuity of the past. You know, for us, there are also a lot of new opportunities, and this is what we try to find out. So one side, finding the new opportunities in terms of being more efficient in terms of the communication, a mix of digital meetings and personal meetings. Now it's possible again, but on the other hand, also to optimize the processes in the company. Means to make things efficient. Let's say like this: we went to the fitness center, you know, in the last 2 years. We checked everything. Is it worth it? Is good to do it, or is it just a luxury thing you used to do in the past because you didn't take care for it enough? But we optimized ourselves. We were more focused on the important things that I would like to. I think it's a good point, and this is what we want to keep also in the future. To be more focused on the essential things, more contact to customers, more customer orientation, more efficiency, and of course, don't lose the emotions. That's very clear. It's also key for us. Being
thank you, Martin. Anton, we have touched a little bit already here about increasing wages generally in this sector. Is that the key to a lot of this? Is it a much more complex challenge than that, just paying people more money?
No, it has to be basic what it needs to be, but I think it's more complex. It's what Martin also said. It has to be a good leverage of private and working. Sometimes in the Netherlands, most women and men are working together, and they spread their working time, so they don't work 40 hours a week, but they each work 24 hours a week. And so for employees, it's a trigger to find out those people when they are good, facilitate them in that kind of working hours. Give them some education, sponsor them to educate very well. At this moment, it's in every country the increase of oil. Yeah, what do you pay them to come from your home to your work? Just arrange something that it's easy to keep them. So it's more complex than only pay better wages. Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, Anton. Daniel, Anton was talking about the need for more flexibility and adaptability in this sector. Do you think is this an industry that's well kind of that's able to is it change competent? Is it able to adapt quite flexibly? Is there a flexibility there?
You have. What I think it is necessary is a kind of change competence of the employees, that they are really willing to go with the time, let's say like this. Look, on the production side, when we have cooks that are not willing to change with the industrial development, so the kitchens on the production side, they keep always the same, but you have to enforce these people that they are willing to learn and to work with new technologies that are produced that are on the market to get a better result at the end. And on the serving side, in the serving part, that are connect much more with the guests. Also here we need this kind of change competence, because our guests, they're not always the same. They also develop, and so the whole business is also changing, and we need this change competence. Not only, okay, what we see is that we have a lot of good educated people, but then they are focused and they want to do what they learned. Maybe there is a lack of good educated people and this change competence, that they have to be ready maybe after 2-3 years to change their whole job description and to live this new way. This is there is some luck, I think, and it's a huge challenge for the management to follow how the consumer are changing, that we can follow them by our whole management, by our whole company. This is a big challenge, I think.
It is a big challenge. Jürg, do you agree with that view from Daniel? Have people become more or less change resistant?
Yeah, I agree with Daniel that it's a question about the management for us to manage this. But I can see that employees have become much more critical of what we do or of what we ask them to do. So we asked in the past always for people they are thinking about, they think with us, they use their brain and their head to do. And now we do have them. So we have critical employees question us about our decisions. And this should be an incentive for us. So it sharpens our ability to argue, and it promotes new approaches to solutions for us. So that means we do have to argue much more about why we want to have this change. Why should something change? And when I have to justify my decisions, credibility and conventionally. So I may not convention everybody, but I'm clear in my leadership role. So, but we have to überzeugen. What means we have to make sure that people understand what we want to do and why. So we are in this meaningful filling job what they are doing. So, and when we get to this, then they will follow us as well. But most of them will follow us, and it's ultimately it's a question of our communication skills we have.
Yeah, great answer, Jürg. Is better training the key here? Anton, would you like to answer that one?
No, I think training has to be a constant investment in your staff. So what you see in hospitality environment, and I don't know what's happening in the industry, but it's mostly a moment, and then everybody is getting to a higher level, and then it's going down, and then you have, after a certain period, somebody says, hey, we have to train them again. So I'm personally focused on to train during the year. Let's come 2-3 times a year, a trainer in the group on a kind of theme and keep the awareness of the quality and the professionality on that way high. That's what I think we need to do, and that costs more money. But on the other hand, you keep the people in your organization enthusiastic, and what you invest, you get back. I'm sure of that. Yeah.
Daniel, do you agree with that comment?
Absolutely, he's absolutely right. You need this internal I'm sorry, you need this internal training. Training is a technical training maybe, but also a motivation thing. Yeah. That they keep fresh, they open their eyes. It's an effort, it's an investment finally, as Anton said, of course. But that shows us that it's also important to make a target staff selection. When we have no target by staff selection, but you just want to replace a function. When you replace the functions, then it's not really targeted staff selection. So when we can find the people that really fitting to us, that we speak the same language, as we heard from Jürg, the culture of a company is also very important. So the staff selection is a very important thing, especially now when we have the chance to build up new staffs, new teams together. This is one side, and when we all speak the same language, then these motivational internal trainings, they have a big success. Everybody is within, and so we can develop together.
Great answer, Daniel. Thank you. Jürg, do you agree with that? What sort of training techniques should companies be focusing on?
Yeah, I agree, but it's also a difficult question to answer, because it depends on what you want to practice and what the skills you want to learn. So there are a lot of different possibilities to learn for each skill. Some people learn differently, and some learn how by watching and doing things. Others, they learn by study first the theory and then practice, and other people, they just try and error. So it depends on what. But what I want to say, what keeps us going is to being interested about new things. So if I am interested about new issues, so then I need some time. And if you look around in the team, so most of them are overworked. They are under the pressure to deliver something. So, and it's an atmosphere which is actually not possible to be creative and to figure out other new things. So if what we have to try out is to give people this time to create an atmosphere that people also could develop their self. So give them an island in their time. Maybe if you tell them to go to the conference, maybe so 3-day conference, EMBA conference might be a good way to take people out of the box, that they have that they can think new things. So that gives motivation, and if the motivation is here, people are willing to try out other things.
Yeah, I love that point about keeping people intellectually curious about what they're doing. Martin, how are you helping your team to sharpen their soft skills and their training in order to bring out the best from them?
We are used to work in teams, so we have a lot of interdisciplinary, but also it's in general our work is based on teamwork. So, and in a team, especially younger people can really develop very well. They take responsibility, and they get the responsibility to be part of a team and to create a result out of it. This is what we expect. So this is one part. The other part is really to be to have a respectful tone and open to support an open discussion on things. This is what people like. The younger generations are not used to be silent. When they have something to say, they want to say it, and they expect that somebody is listening, you know. And this has to do with respect. Doesn't matter how old you are. And this is what we try to do. So really and of course we have an eye on our talents, you know, and to support them. What Anton said, I think this is a key to also to give them inspiration from to let them see other things outside, to send them to seminars, to give them trainings, and to invest in their education and as a person, but also for the job. And that makes sense, and that keeps the people in the company as a loyal and important part of the company long term. This is the goal. Because the most expensive thing is you invest a lot and then they're leaving to somewhere else. And you have to start from the very beginning. This is just completely unif. This is an actual disaster and has to be avoided as good as possible. That's what we know exactly. You know? Excellent.
Martin, let's get a final thought from you all then. If we could just go kind of round the panel. Martin, if we could stay with you first, and then we'll ask our three consultants. Do you feel positive that people will remain front and center in food service and hospitality? Do you feel that we need more automation to replace roles long term? And generally, how optimistic are you that this is going to remain a people-centric industry? Martin, with you first, please.
Yeah, when we talk about the hospitality industry, it's very pauschal, you know. There are many jobs in this business. They are very simple. They are always standard, always the same every day. And actually, nobody in the future want to do this anymore. So let's cleaning things, logistic things, and all these parts will be automated in the future when it's possible. But on the other hand side, when it comes to, and this is what we discussed at the beginning, when it comes to human emotions, so it's at the front line, you know, then it's unreplaceable, I believe. So everything what is possible to automate in the standard segment, also in kitchens, by the way, will be automated and digitalized. But the human factor will always be important and makes a difference. This is the USP can be one of the major USPs for the companies, for the hotel, restaurant businesses, and this is what they have to understand, you know. And
excellent. Yeah. Thank you, Martin. Same question to you as well, please, Jürg.
You ask me, yeah?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. I fully agree with Martin, and a kind word or a nice gesture cannot replace. It's not being replaceable. But we have to learn how to deal with that digitalization. So, and that makes us creative, and we cannot stop this progress. And there is another saying. It says, life is not about waiting for a storm to pass. So, but we should learn to dance in the rain. So let's learn to dance in the rain with the digitalization. That's our challenge.
I love that. Thank you so much, Jürg. Same question to you as well, please, Daniel.
Yeah, I'm convinced too that on production side, we will have it's going on. The technology becomes better and better. And we are still living on a very high quality level of food production. It's incredible how good the food is when you look how many people can be served at the same time. This is really incredible. So at the end, when the production is on this high level, what is the final point to make a decision when I go to a restaurant? Is it the steak that is prepared well, or is it the person that is running this company, the servant that is smiling to me? And then we are at about the emotions. And at the end of the day, I think any robot is not able to give me these emotions I would like to have when I go out for have a nice dinner. So I think we will going on as a people-focused industry. I hope we can change that in a way. So that's my opinion. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you, Daniel. And finally, you as well, please, Anton.
I think in the hospitality industry, there will be an employer who is in the surrounding of the guests, who is taking care of the experience, what Daniel said. And there will be robots between the kitchen and that employee who is in the environment of the guests. So he doesn't have to switch every time to the kitchen. So the increase of production, what Daniel said, will get higher and higher and higher. The quality of the product must be good, also temperature on that robot. but the experience for the guests will be out of that man or woman who's around those tables. So that will be, I think, the next big step. Then we keep the experience high, and the costs we can also leverage on a good level. And the guy or woman who's involved with the guests has to be the entertainer, and we have to develop him very well, train him very well, and pay him also what is needed. That's what I think. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you, Anton. Yeah. That's a really good place to finish up, I think. It's a really interesting and quite a heartening and optimistic debate from some wonderful participants, some wonderful people. Anton, Jürg, Daniel and Martin, big thanks for joining us today. I'd like to thank MKN for supporting this series. Thank you for watching. Please stay tuned to fcsi.org for future events in the series. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you very much.